Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Things are going about as well as they possibly can for the Tigers these days. Since the All-Star break, the best record in the American League, 21-9. And tonight the Tigers will try and keep it rolling on a beautiful night for baseball here in the Motor City. Welcome to Game 1 in this series featuring the visiting Minnesota Twins and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen. We are glad to have you with us here for Game 1 in this series. It has been a grueling stretch for the Tigers. Ron, they just finished a 5-game series against the Royals, winning 3 out of those games. But really, since the All-Star break, this team has been on a roll. You know, I don't know what it is about this team, but since Jim Leyland has taken over in 2006, they have saved their best baseball for after the All-Star break, and that is the case once again this year. I don't think anybody is really surprised in baseball that they are the class of the American League. They have the best record, best batting average, runners in scoring position. Well, you get the idea. They're first in all of those categories second half of the year. They've been flat out getting it done. You know, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better starting rotation in baseball than the one the Tigers have. And to me, one of the big indicators of a great rotation is depth. The number 5 guy in their rotation is Rick Porcello, and he's a quality start just about every night he goes out. Well, not only is he a quality starter, but he's looking for his 10th win, which would give all 5 of the Tiger starters 10 wins or more here, and we're only at August 20th. Porcello, when he goes out there, he brings that outstanding sinker with him. Real nice curveball, real good changeup, outstanding mound presence. He doesn't walk a lot of people. He shuts down the running game, gets lots of double play balls. Take a look at Porcello since July 1st. 5-0 with a 2.62 ERA, only 11 base on balls. So Porcello will try and get it done here again tonight. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Colsam Studios and join John Keating. Coming up tonight, well, Miguel Cabrera. He's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball. One dramatic homer after another. Cabrera and the Tigers facing the Twins next. Park. It is a beautiful night for baseball. Rick Porcello is on the mound tonight. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Rick Porcello, last 6 weeks pitching as well as we've ever seen him in a Tigers uniform. He comes in 9-6, looking to win his 10th game, which would give all 5 Tigers starters 10 or more wins this year. 98 strikeouts, just 28 base on balls. There will be a lot of contact this evening.
And so the Tigers take on the Twins here in a 3-game series. Detroit at 73-51, checking into play tonight. Brian Dozier will lead things off for the visiting Minnesota Twins. Dozier, Herman, Willingham in the top of the first. 82-degree evening here in the Motor City, and we are ready for baseball. Rick Porcello goes to work against the Minnesota Twins. First pitch of the ball game is high. 1 ball and no strikes on Brian Dozier. Having himself a really good year. The average is still a bit low at 243, but he's knocked in 50 runs this season.
He's got 12 homers, too. He's got a lot of power to the pull field.
Tips that one into the glove. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Dozier, like most kids when they come to the big leagues, pretty good fastball hitter.
Dozier also has stolen 9 bases this year. Porcello ready with the 1-1 pitch. Here it is. And it's in there. A strike called by Fieldin Culbreth. 1-2. Rick tonight in search of his 10th victory of the season. 9-6 record coming in. Pulled on the ground, foul, third base side. Tigers finishing a 5-game series against the Royals. Off day yesterday to recharge a little bit, and back to work here tonight. Dozier waiting on the 1-2, and time is called now at home plate.
That day off was well needed. Tigers had gone 21 straight days without a day off.
And had that long road trip. They come back home without an off day. Breaking ball and a dandy. Caught him looking. 1 gone. It's the rest of the lineup for the Twins, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for Minnesota, you saw Dozier, Herman and Willingham to follow, then Justin Morneau at first base. Ryan Domet is the catcher. Wilkin Ramirez in left. Plouffe, Thomas, and Florimone. The bottom 3. Joe Mauer late scratch for the Twins tonight.
A real nice curveball spun out of the hand of Rick Porcello to freeze Dozier there for strike 3.
Here is Chris Herman, who looks at a ball inside. 1-0. Mauer was to bat second. He was taking batting practice and felt dizzy tonight, so he is not playing. A late scratch for the Twins. And they are really short-handed tonight when you consider Mauer is out. Oswaldo Arcia is out, which pretty much leaves them with Doug Bernier on their bench.
Yeah, they say that Mauer took about 3 or 4 foul tips off the mask in their game yesterday in Minnesota. Therefore, a little dizzy today during the course of batting practice, a lot like what Avila went through. Avila, of course, he left the game and then he came on the road trip, played 1 game, then was shut down.
So the Tigers have a bit of an advantage tonight, and one of the best hitters in baseball, Mauer, is not going. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Checked it, and it missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Chris Herman. Here's the 2-2. High fly ball left center field. Hit pretty good, but Jackson will go over along with the left fielder Dirks, and it's Andy Dirks.
Beaumont Health System will sponsor the starting defensive alignment for the Detroit Tigers this evening. Take a look at Ricky Porcello. 70% of his outs on the ground this season, which is second highest in the American League. Also, nice to see Omar Infante back in there after having a sore back the last couple days.
So Porcello with a chance at a 1-2-3 inning. There's Infante, who missed a couple of days. Day off yesterday certainly helped. Josh Willingham will stand in now with 2 outs. And Porcello missed inside. 1-0. Willingham batting .219. He is the DH, and he swings and misses.
He's the one guy that Porcello really needs to stay away from tonight. If Willingham comes up with runners in scoring position, he should just walk him. He's got monster numbers in his career against Rick.
Now the 1-1. Checked it. Strike called.
There are those numbers. Porcello against Willingham, 438 with a couple long balls.
Rick ahead in the count here. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Porcello got him that time. A couple of strikeouts for Rick. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Come the Tigers now. Their starting lineup brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And for Jim Leland tonight, it'll be Austin Jackson, Torrey Hunter, and Miguel Cabrera in the top 3 spots. Prince Fielder, Victor Martinez. Then Andy Dirks batting 6th. You've got Infante, Pena, and Iglesias. And here is Austin Jackson settling into the batter's box. Jackson, 2 out of 13 in that series against the Kansas City Royals. First pitch from Pelfrey is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 261 for Jackson, 9 homers. And he looks at a strike on the outer edge. 1-1 on AJ.
Pelfrey will give you a heavy dose of fastballs. About 79% of the time he features the ball toward a home plate. It is a fastball, anywhere from 91 to 93 miles an hour.
Grounded foul, 1-2.
He comes in 4-10. However, Mike Pelfrey with a 5.26 ERA. If you add up his hits and walks, boy, does he pitch in a lot of traffic. And when he does pitch in traffic, he slows the game down.
Yes, we've noticed that in the past. 1-2 the count. And it's fouled back into the seats.
One of the reasons why he probably has not had a whole lot of success this year against the Tigers is the fact that he does throw so many fastballs, and you simply can't overpower this Tigers team.
Pelfrey, 29 years old. He was born at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. Trying to slow down a Tigers team that has played some really good baseball since the All-Star break, as we documented at the top of the broadcast. Tigers in first place in the Central. 1-2 is fouled straight back.
Pelfrey also has a curveball, slider, and an occasional split-fingered fastball that he will throw that is in the velocity range of 84 to 87 miles an hour. The former ace of the New York Metropolitans.
Here's the 1-2. And he got him on the outside corner. Jackson is caught looking. 1 gone.
Tim Hortons will sponsor the Minnesota Twins starting D here tonight. Wilkin Ramirez, the former Tiger, He is in left. Cleet Thomas also wore the Tigers uniform. He's in center. Herman in the outfield with them. Plouffe, Florimon, Dozier, and Morneau in the infield. And Ryan Domit is the catcher this evening.
Here's Torrey now with one out. And again, Pelfrey trying to hit that outside corner, missed. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 104 out of 13 in that recently completed series. Batting .306. There's a strike on the outer edge. 44 multi-hit games this year for Hunter. Here's the 1-1. Lifted back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pretty good start in his last outing for Mike Pelfrey. He threw a quality start, as a matter of fact, going 6 1/3 against Chicago and allowing 3 runs. And that was his first quality start since late July, on July the 24th. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball left side of the infield. Charging at third is Plouffe. And he got him by half a step. 2 gone. We'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Six-game hitting streak right now for Cabrera. And hitting a very solid .360, the best in baseball. A couple of home runs this year against Twins pitching. And Pelfrey pours in a strike at 94, 0-1. Miguel now 120 RBIs this year. Numbers for as good as they were last year in his Triple Crown season are even better this year. He pops this one in the air, middle of the infield. Florimon and Dozier, and it's Dozier to end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the second. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Ram trucks now get a great summer deal on a Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. And by Mission Foods, eat interesting. Nice night here in the Motor City. Beautiful view of the Renaissance Center here downtown. And the Tigers and Twins go at it here in the start of a 3-game series. So far it is scoreless. Rick Porcello brings it home and misses outside to Justin Morneau.
2 strikeouts in the first inning for Porcello, which now gives him 100 on the season. Keep in mind his career high in strikeouts is 107.
He's going to blow past that, I would imagine.
It's always been the knock on him, though, is the fact that he didn't have that legitimate strikeout pitch. But by getting rid of the slider at the beginning of this year and focusing on the curveball and the changeup for his off-speed pitches, he now gets some swing and misses with 2 strikes.
2 balls, 1 strike on Morneau.
One of the pitches that gave him some trouble last year was his slider. He gave up a lot of hits on his slider, so Jeff Jones and Porcello simply got rid of that pitch in spring training.
2-1 is hammered to left, base hit. Morneau goes the other way. That'll be the first hit for either side here tonight.
And Porcello missed with his location there. Brian Pena wanted that fastball down and in. He was trying to go in the front door with a sinker ball, but Rick Porcello held on to it too long. The ball stayed up in the strike zone, and you can't do that to a guy like Morneau. And you don't see Porcello miss that badly with his location.
We'll bring up Ryan Doumit. Doumit is doing the catching tonight. That one sinks low. 1 ball, no strikes. Doumit batting .244, 10 homers this year. Rick so far is 0 for 5 in first pitch strikes.
And Doumit has grounded into 11 double plays this year, which leads their club. And, of course, we've already documented that Porcello throws a lot of ground balls.
2-0 the count.
You don't have to worry about Justin Morneau, the base runner on first base, stealing a base. So that double play will stay in order.
Doumit last year had a pretty good season, 75 RBIs. This year he has 46 to this point with 10 home runs. And he takes a ball low, 3-0.
There's those ground ball numbers on Porcello. Be careful here. You never know if Doumit is swinging. 3 balls and no strikes if he gets that fastball right down the middle.
And he looks at a strike, 3-1. Porcello has issued 2 or fewer walks in 22 of his 23 starts this year, so the base on balls really by and large have not been an issue for Rick.
That's key for him because Porcello gives up a lot of hits, and if you add in base on balls along with those hits, it could be some long days for him.
There's a ground ball, but it's going to get through. Base hit. Morneau goes to second. He'll stop there. So back-to-back singles here for Minnesota in the second. And now Wilkin Ramirez. Porcello has had at least 10 wins in every year so far in the major leagues, trying to get to number 10 here tonight. Ramirez, the former Tiger, freshly off the disabled list. He missed 69 games this year when he ran into Josh Willingham in this ballpark earlier this year and suffered a concussion. And Porcello pours in a strike, 0-1.
Wasn't scheduled to start here this evening, but when Mauer was scratched, Ramirez was added to the starting lineup.
For a long time, Wilkin was labeled a big-time prospect in the Tigers system. He got to the major leagues with Detroit. Played briefly here. That was back in 2009. "27 years of age now, Wilkin Ramirez. Tigers originally signed him back in 2003. Combination of power, speed. Now Porcello wants his catcher out to the mound. Back-to-back hits for Minnesota here in the second. No score. Morneau and Doumit, the base runners, with nobody out. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Ramirez's first major league hit came in a Tigers uniform back in that 09 season. It was a home run to dead center field, a really long home run against the Rangers. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Porcello has his third strikeout already. 1 out.
Real nice pitch sequence to Ramirez. On the previous pitch, he went with a breaking ball, and that was on the outside part of the plate. Came back with a really good two-seam fastball at 92, down and in to get Ramirez to swing right over the top of.
We'll bring up the third baseman, Trevor Plouffe. He's hit a couple of homers against Tigers pitching this year. Tigers and Twins have met 13 times this year, and Detroit has won 8 of those games. 0-1 on Plouffe. Bounce again, Pena, nice block, holding the base runners where they are. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inning started with Morneau and Domitz singling. And Wilkin Ramirez has just struck out. Rick's had a pretty good stretch as well against Minnesota, having won 6 of his last 8 decisions against the Twins. There's a bouncing ball to third. That is a fair ball. Cabrera tags the back one and a double play. 5-3 Twin killing inning over.
Starting pitcher, it was April 29th right here at Comerica Park, and a home run by Prince Fielder. The left field flipped into the Minnesota Twins bullpen.
And Mr. Fielder is 7 for 20 with a couple of homers career against Mike Pelfrey. He'll start things off here in the bottom of the second. Fielder, Martinez, Dirks after the Tigers went 1-2-3 against Pelfrey in the first inning. Prince takes ball 1 down low. Fielder 4 for 19 in the 5-game series against the Kansas City Royals, batting .260. .280 this year against the Twins. It's funny, Rod, every time we play a new team, we talk to some of the personnel from the other teams, and they're wondering what's wrong with Prince Fielder.
Right.
Yet here's a guy that's top 5 in RBI.
85. He's got 19 home runs, hitting .260. He hit .300 last year for the very first time, but those numbers aren't bad.
He got it in his hands that time, and it's fielded down at first by Morneau. Flips to the pitcher covering, 1 gone. Hey, by the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Here is Victor Martinez. See what Victor has done against Pelfrey. 4 for 11. That's a 364 average.
Tigers need to get ready to hit that fastball that Pelfrey is featuring tonight. He has been right around 91 to 94. And he's thrown a lot of fastballs of the total 15 pitches he's thrown, and the majority of those pitches have been strikes.
Like that one. 0-1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Pelfrey pounding the strike zone coming out of the dugout today. No score in the bottom of the second. Now the 0-1. Victor rips the ball into right field, base hit. First Tigers hit of the game. That one stayed up for Martinez, who drilled it. Bring up Andy Dirks. Dirks batting .247. He's hit a couple of home runs against Pelfrey in his career. And he looks at ball one. Dirks, as a matter of fact, is 4 for 9 with 2 homers against Mike Pelfrey. Tigers have their first base runner, the 1-out single by Martinez. Lifted back out of play, 1 ball, 1 strike. And he's seeing time out in left in this ball game. Tigers have been able to use several different players in that spot. Kelly has gotten some starts out there. Tuiasosopo mainly against left-handed pitching. Now the 1-1 showing bunt, and he lays it down. Domit's throw is in time for the out.
Outstanding play by Ryan Domit. And calling off the catcher Pelfrey, telling him that he had it. He's able to reach down with real good concentration to barehand this ball. Wheels and fires a strike to Justin Morneau. Great idea by Andy Dirks, but a nice play by the catcher Domit.
He literally had to get rid of it as soon as he got it. And Dirks very nearly beat it out for an infield hit. No sacrifice there. He was clearly bunting for a base hit. That'll move the runner up, though. And here is Infante. Tigers now with a chance to get a run in here with a base hit from Omar. Batting a solid .315. In for a strike, 0-1. Omar's really turned it up in the month of August. .391 this month. Lifted in the air. Shallow center field. Lee Thomas coming on to make the catch, and the Tigers will leave a man. 2 in the books. Tigers baseball tonight is presented by Bell Tire. Well, Rick Porcello has indeed been rolling on in his last 7 starts, 6 of them quality starts. How about these numbers? 5-0.
Tigers have been very blessed this year, and no injuries for the most part to their starting rotation. Therefore, they've needed only 6 starters this year.
Pretty amazing this deep into the season. As Porcello goes to work here in the 3rd. Clee Thomas looks at a strike.
Jose Alvarez would be the 6th member that has gotten a few starts in the big leagues this year.
And a couple of his have been really good. Thomas is batting .227. And Cleat sends a ground ball to first. It is right at Prince Fielder, who will take it himself. 1 out.
You go into the season and you kind of think you're going to need 8, 9, 10 starters most years to get you through the year. But the Tigers have been very, very fortunate with the durability of their starters.
Some of that may be due to the fact that Jim Leyland's very cognizant of pitch counts and making sure guys don't overextend themselves.
He's always been known as a manager that can really handle the pitching staff, so that's a valid point.
Pedro Florimon is batting now with 1 out. Well, a lot of times we talk about, well, how come Scherzer doesn't have a complete game? How come Porcello's never allowed to go much beyond 100? Well, there is value to that.
Their pitchers do have some tremendous work ethic as well. Verlander, tremendous work ethic. Porcello, Pfister, Sanchez, and Max. They keep themselves in great shape.
He's fouled off third base side.
And we're talking about a pitching staff that's gone to the postseason the last couple of years. So they've logged a lot of innings.
Yeah, it's something you tend to forget about, but the last 2 years deep into the postseason. Last year, of course, into the World Series. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He dusted him, struck him out for his 4th of the game. Time for a game break now. Here is Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thank you. Here in the 3rd, Brian Dozier will step in now in a scoreless game. And Dozier sends a ground ball to 3rd. Short hop by Miggy.
Pick it, Miggy.
Pick it and a green. 1-2-3 inning for Porcello. Fox Sports Detroit Prize Pack Tuesday brought to you by Meijer. What does it mean? Well, text Meijer to 37338 to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack that any baseball fan would love. Meijer math means savings that really add up. At Meijer, the math always works in your favor. Pretty good math tonight for Rick Porcello. He had a 1-2-3 third inning, has been 5 for his last 5 in first pitch strikes.
Meanwhile, Mike Pelfrey pitching very well through the first 2 innings that he has pitched today, and he really has had no success against the Tigers this year, but he's certainly totaled 22 pitches. 91% of those have been fastballs, anywhere from 91 to 94, with a lot of first pitch strikes.
There's another one. Strike one on Brian Pena.
He will have to change second time around, because this much we do know: the Tigers make adjustments as well as any team in the American League.
The 0-1 to Pena. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pena's done a lot of damage this year against right-handed pitching. 340 with 4 homers, 15 ribbies.
Pena, or I should say Pelfrey rather, has been 4 of 8 first pitch strikes. Pena fouls it back, and the count is 1-2. Iglesias and then Jackson to follow here in the Tiger third. Mike Pelfrey signed as free agent last December, was the Mets opening day starter just a couple of years ago, 2011. Here's the 1-2. Tipped it into the glove on a late swing by Pena. 1 out. Second strikeout now for Pelfrey. Here's Iglesias. First round draft pick of the Mets back in 2005. Mike Pelfrey in his 8th major league season.
Played his college baseball at Wichita State, the Shockers, same college that Andy Dirks finished up before turning pro.
Pelfrey was there a couple of years before Andy got there. We were not teammates there. Here's Mr. Dirks. One ball, no strikes on Iglesias. Looper into right field, base hit, opposite field single for Jose.
If he continues to do that, that batting average will stay at 317. It's going to go up just a tick. He's had a great rookie season, and he's pretty much done it pulling the ball the majority of the time. But when he first came to the Tigers, he was a little too pull happy, but you could see that now Iglesias now trying to drive some balls the opposite direction. A lot of base hits over there for a guy like Iglesias.
And he brings some excitement and some speed to the base paths as well. Austin Jackson will stand in. The Tigers have their second hit. And a strike called on Jackson. A strikeout victim back in the first. Austin is batting .260 overall for the season. In the second half, though, he's slowed down a little bit, batting .220 since the All-Star break. Drilled to right field, base hit. And Iglesias will go to second. The Tigers have something going now.
Told you second time through, Tigers would make an adjustment against Pelfrey. Most of the guys tried to pull him. He was jamming some guys in the very first 2 innings. Now 2 consecutive base hits the opposite way, both on fastballs. I'd say they made an adjustment already.
And we'll see now what Torrey Hunter can do with runners at first and second and 1 out. Torrey grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. See if he goes the other way as well. Good speed on the bases for Detroit. Double scores 2 here. He's showing bunt, and he takes the ball up and in.
Good pitch by Pelfrey. I mean, not the fact that it's up and in to Hunter, but he could visibly see Iglesias is also Austin Jackson diving over the heart of the plate, trying to take the base hit the other way. So he wanted to stand Torrey Hunter up on the very first pitch, just in case he was thinking the same thing.
Now the 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes on Torrey. Pretty good this year with men in scoring position. Torrey at .294.
Of course, Torrey Hunter started his big league career with the Minnesota Twins, and he will always go down as one of the most popular players to ever wear that Minnesota Twins uniform.
Here's a 2-0. Lifted back out of play. Well, you can't spend 11 seasons in an organization like Torrey did and be as affable as he was without being as popular as he is. Really keen sense of how to handle the media and be gracious with fans. Two balls, one strike. Foul away again. 2-2 now on Torrey Hunter.
Torrey Hunter said he learned from one of the best, and that would be Kirby Puckett, who was playing center field when Torrey first came to the big leagues. And those same things you said about Torrey Hunter, that was basically Kirby Puckett in a nutshell.
No doubt Kirby, a beloved Minnesota Twin in his day. Hunter now trying to do something about a pair of singles here in the third. Pelfrey ready with the 2-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle, could be two. Florimon takes one and a double play. 6-3 to end the inning, and both sides now with a Twin killing as we go to the fourth inning. Rick Porcello headed back out to the mound. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's Grand Turkey Club today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire, the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Well, the Tigers and Twins get together here in the start of a three-game series, and neither team has scored to this point. On our way to the fourth, Rick Porcello back to the hill, and he is facing Chris Herman to start things off. It'll be Herman, then Willingham, and Morneau. Rick had a 7-pitch third inning and a chopper hit slowly to the right side. Porcello going to have to cover and safe at first base. Twins got rid of it as quickly as he could.
Also, Porcello took a beeline for the bag, so this was executed very nicely from a defensive standpoint. You give Herman a lot of credit because as soon as he rolled over on this pitch, he was out of that batter's box in a hurry. You're taught, Porcello, if you can't get to the bag, which he did, flipped by Prince, and not before Herman got that foot on the bag. Ooh.
Oh, did he?
Oh, maybe not.
Twins may have gotten one there. Pretty close. So the leadoff man is on. We'll bring up Josh Willingham. Be the third hit of the game now for Minnesota. Willingham is backed out of there. 1-0. Strikeout victim back in the first inning.
That's not where they want to pitch Willingham. They might show him that pitch on the very first pitch of a pitch sequence, but they really want to get him out of the way. Dead pull hitter, most of his power is to left field. You want to make him use the big part of the ballpark, which would be center field or right field.
Foul tip into the glove.
One more look at that close play. You be the judge.
I don't know. There are some angles it looks as if Porcello got there first. It was close, we know that. Now Willingham steps out. Power numbers down this year for Willingham. This is a guy that hit 35 homers last year, and he has only 12 so far this season, although he has spent a good chunk of the year on the DL.
For the most part, fly ball hitter, but with Porcello's ground ball success, he might get his second double play of the evening.
At this point last season, Willingham had 31 home runs. Only 12 so far this year.
In a ballpark that they say plays big.
Yeah, until he got to Minnesota. 89 RBIs compared to 43. But he has missed 33 games with knee problems. And the 1-2. Grounded foul. Porcello picked up 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Hey, congratulations on a souvenir.
Fired up.
Double play ball on the second. Rick has struck out 4 in this game. And the 1-2. We almost got him with a breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. 2-2 the count. Rick has had a quality start in 7 of his last 8. The Tigers pitching staff as a whole, 85 quality starts, more than any other staff in the AL. Count goes full now, 3-2. Willingham digs back in. Pena flashing the signs. And he got him, strike 3 on the outer edge.
Wise decision there by Ron Gardenhire not to start the runner. Because had he started the runner, Herman would have been thrown out at second base. What a pitch by Porcello. A real good two-seam fastball on the black. May have got aided a little bit there by Pena, who pulled it back into the strike zone, but a quality pitch.
1 on and 1 out. Here is Justin Morneau. Singled back in the second, 1 for 1 for Morneau. He's had some big years in a Twins uniform, but his contract is up at the end of this season. Whether or not he'll be back with the Twins, we'll have to wait and see.
He'll find a job somewhere. 14 home runs, 68 driven in, batting .263. If it's not with Minnesota, somebody will give him an opportunity.
Lifts that one back out of play, 1-1.
And if you're Morneau, as much as you'd love to stay with the team that you came to the big leagues with, if they're in rebuilding mode, and it appears they might be next year, you might just want to go somewhere else and take your chance at winning a championship. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, it is a two-way street, and that's a good point. Morneau has given them a lot of good years and has played on some really good teams here, but they clearly are trying to rebuild now with the Twins.
You know what they say. What have you done for me lately?
That is true. Morneau, of course, had to deal with the concussion symptoms he had. That took a while for him to get over. But But you will find his name all over the record books in Twins history. Bouncing ball foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Something else that Morneau has done, he's handled himself like a top-notch pro in the years that he has been in their uniform.
218 career home runs, 854 RBIs. The RBI total is good for 5th all-time in Twins history. That'll get away from Pena, advance the runner. Wild pitch, will moving up with 1 out. Here's where the Twins have really struggled. On their last homestand, they hit just 185 with men in scoring position.
They really have struggled in that same category all season long.
They played a makeup game against the Twins, or against the Mets yesterday. They were 0 for 10 with men in scoring position. Now the 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Justin Morneau.
Ron Gardenhire said before the game today that their lack of numbers with runners in scoring position is a huge concern for he and his staff.
Total of 50 now for Porcello. Fly ball, right field, hit well. Hunter is going back, track, wall, looks up, and that ball's out of here. It's gone. A 2-run shot for Justin Morneau. That'll make it 2-0 in favor of the Minnesota Twins. His 15th home run of the season.
Not a bad pitch. I mean, he basically takes this ball right off the plate. It's a changeup that is down, and he wasn't looking for it, but he got that bat out in front because he was looking for that 2-seam fastball and got enough of it to hit it into that first row in the right field seats.
There's a breaking ball that drops in against Ryan Domit. 2 runs on 4 hits now for the Twins. They jump out to a lead here in the 4th. Domit had a single back in the 2nd. Wait and a miss. 0-2.
Sometimes you have to tip your hat to the hitter, and that would be the case on that pitch that Morneau just hit out of the ballpark. There's not a lot of left-handed batters that take that same pitch and find the seats for a homer.
1-2 to count. He basically golfed that thing into the seats. The 4th hit today for Minnesota. Domit waiting on a 1-2. Ground ball right side. Prince on the backhand. Porcello again covering. 2 gone. And now Wilkin Ramirez. Who struck out against Porcello in his first at bat. Batting .263 this year. Minnesota came into this game as a team batting just .242. So offensively they have been challenged. And in fact only one team in the AL has a lower batting average. To no one's surprise, that would be Houston. The Astros this year have won just 41 games. Now the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ramirez. Bouncing ball left side in the hole. Iglesias. Look at that flip to first. It's not going to be in time. A 1 hopper to the first baseman. Iglesias showing off range and that arm strength, but not enough to get him.
He gets rid of the baseball very quickly, and he goes down, knows he's not going to have much of an opportunity to throw him out if he stopped and then planted his feet to make a firmer throw. So he simply grabs it, He takes it from where he fields it and flips it all in one motion, but didn't get enough on it to get Ramirez, who can run for his size.
It's one of the things we do remember about Wilkin. He can move. Beats out an infield hit. That is the 5th hit of the game. And that'll bring up Trevor Plouffe. This next pitch for Porcello here in the 4th inning will be his 30th.
And Tigers had a day off yesterday, and they had gotten some really good starts leading up to that day off. So that pitching staff and that bullpen is well intact this evening. Should Porcello need a lot of help.
Ball 1 missing low. Trevor Plouffe knocked into a double play his first time up. Grounded foul. Rick has thrown more pitches in this inning than the last 2 combined. He had a 7-pitch third.
Take a look at this number right here. Second time through for Rick Porcello. .339 batting average. Numbers get really good as he gets to the 3rd time around. He was pretty good against Minnesota the first time around, but we're in that 2nd time through now, and they've already put 2 runs on the board. Game of adjustments.
1-1 is hammered foul down the right field line.
We're talking about the Tigers, and they needed to make an adjustment against Pelfrey because he's throwing them so many fastballs, which they did. They got some runners in scoring position before Torrey Hunter hit into that inning-ending double play, but Porcello's going to have to make some adjustments as well against Minnesota.
$2-0 lead for the Twins. There's a quick toss back to first, and we'll keep an eye on Ramirez there. 2-5-0 for Minnesota, 0-3-0 for Detroit. Missed with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lee Thomas waiting on deck. Porcello came into this start 7-5 lifetime against the Twins. Breaking ball fouled away. And a pretty good ERA, 3.40. Two and two. Tigers have a 3-game series here against the Twins. On to New York for the weekend to take on the Mets. Drill down the left field line. Fair ball. It's going to go to the corner. Let's see if this gets a run. And Ramirez coming to third. They're going to try and score him. And no relay. It's cut off by Cabrera. That's a double and an RBI for Trevor Plouffe. Wilkin Ramirez scores all the way from first on that play, and it's 3-0.
Plouffe got a hanging breaking ball up in the zone, and he hit an absolute C down in that left field corner. Dirks needs to hit the first cutoff man here, which would be Iglesias. If he does so, it may have been a closer play at home plate. He airmailed him. It bounced to Miguel. By the time the ball was bouncing to Miguel, that allowed Wilkin Ramirez to take a few more steps.
So Jeff Jones comes out to have a chat with Porcello now, and it's time for the AT&T trivia question here this evening. And let's see what we have tonight. When was the last time the Tigers have 5 starters that had at least 10 wins in a season? The last time the Tigers had 5 starters reach 10 wins or more in a single season. Porcello a chance to do that here tonight with a victory. But his teammates will have to get him some runs now. It's 3-0 in favor of Minnesota. Here is Cleat Thomas. This will be the 7th man to bat in the inning. Thomas waits and misses 0-1. He bounced out 3 unassisted his first time up. Cleat spending parts of 3 years in a Tigers uniform. One ball and 1 strike. Twins had Aaron Hicks playing center field at the start of the year. He had a terrific spring training. The youngster from the minor leagues, one of their better prospects, but he has been injured. He is back in the minor leagues now. Thomas rolls one foul, and the veteran Cleat Thomas gets an opportunity.
And apparently they had rushed Aaron Hicks, who had a monster spring training and looked like he was ready to start his big league career as a center fielder for Minnesota for the next decade. But we saw him early, and he struggled in the middle. And they finally had to send him back down to the minor leagues for some more schooling.
Well, out of the chute, he had to face Justin Verlander, who struck him out 3 times on opening day. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cleat Thomas.
He made a lot of really nice defensive plays and had a really good throwing arm from center field. Hicks, he'll be back, but just wasn't ready offensively.
Checked it low. 2-2 on Thomas. So Porcello having his longest and certainly most stressful inning of this game so far. Had a 7-pitch third, was cruising along through 3. But Morneau has gotten him for a 2-run shot. Plouffe an RBI double. And a line foul down the left field line. Thomas was originally drafted by the Minnesota Twins, but decided to go to college instead. He went to Auburn. And then Cleat became a Tiger out of college. Again, down the left field line, foul. So Porcello now 34 in this half inning, a total of 70. That has really jumped his game total up. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Pena will throw to first, completing the strikeout. And the inning is over. However, Justin Morneau got the Twins on the board, golfing a pitch out into right field. Twins end up with 3 here in the 4th inning.
And here's today's high-speed stat, and is brought to you by Charter Internet. Through the first 116 games of the season since 1921, only 3 players averaged 350 with the average, 40 home runs, and 120 RBIs. Miggy, Jimmy Fox, and that guy they called Babe Ruth.
Really good company as Cabrera leads it off and looks at strike one. Cabrera and fielder Martinez. It seems like every single night as you look at the comparison between this year and last year. Numbers way up for Miggy.
No one in the game that we pull up those black and white photos with the consistency, though, that we pull them up with when Miguel Cabrera is standing in that batter's box and as we get toward the end of any season.
Popped up his first time 0 for 1 in the game. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And it sails outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
2 of the 3 pitches that Miggy has seen in this pitch sequence from Pelfrey, breaking balls, and Miggy having a smiling moment there with Domick, the catcher. Now what are you going to throw?
Let's find out. Here's a 2-1. Fastball to 93, right over the plate, 2-2.
Good fastball. And he started it out away from Miguel. The tailing action of that pitch caught the outside corner.
Prince Fielder waiting on deck. It is 3-0 in favor of the Twins. We're playing in the bottom of the 4th. Just missed. Pelfrey wanted it.
He sure did.
Didn't get it. Took a little stroll after he threw that pitch.
When the hitter's hitting 360, pitchers aren't going to get this pitch.
Now it's 3-2. Ground ball to third, deep behind the bag. Plouffe in the dirt, and it's dug out by Morneau. Cabrera now 0 for 2. 1 gone here in the 4th.
Every pitch in that pitch sequence, the first 5 pitches to Miggy were away from him, and then the 3-2 count. Pelfrey came inside with a good 2-seam fastball that crowded Miggy.
Now Prince Fielder, who bounced out his first time up. Tigers have only 3 hits so far. Martinez, Iglesias, and Jackson all with singles. Swing and a drive deep into right field, way back and gone. Prince has put the Tigers on the board. It's 3-1.
He started Prince Fielder off with a little get-me-over breaking ball, but a lot of times those don't make it to the catcher's glove. And when you see Prince drop his bat like he dropped it here, you know he's getting ready to circle the pillows, which he does. Second homer he's hit this year against Pelfrey.
Several really good style points there for Prince. Watched it for a bit, adjusted the helmet, and then took the tour. And for Fielder, his 20th of the season. That'll charge up the crowd a little bit. 3-1 ball game now. So much for just the 3 singles for the Tigers. 8 consecutive years of at least 20 home runs. Here's the 0-1. 0-2 by Victor Martinez, a single back in the 2nd. Martinez came in at .329 in the month of August after a huge, and I mean huge, month of July in which he hit .390. You could see the tide turning for Martinez in the month of June. He had had a couple of really tough months, April and May, and then in June he started to trend upward a little bit, and then in July he just absolutely took off. And because of that, his average now here late in the season, a very healthy 283. The 1-2. Popped up. Florimone, the shortstop. 2 outs. Here's Andy Dirks. Andy tried to lay down a bunt his first time and very nearly beat it out. And he looks at ball 1 outside. Ball 2 outside. Dirk's now 4 for 10 career against Pelfrey. Tigers get on the board on the 1-out solo shot by Fielder. Way outside again, now 3-0. Waiting on deck, Omar Infante. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. 3-1. Pelfrey last year made just 3 starts before Tommy John surgery in May. Fouled away. 3-2. They have certain timetables for that surgery, but I guess some guys come back more quickly than others.
Yeah, he came back less than a calendar year.
Which is somewhat odd. Pelfrey came in at 4-10 with a 5.26 ERA. 3-2 pitch. Rolled foul.
We just saw Danny Duffy of the Kansas City Royals a few starts ago who looked really good. Fastball was 95, 96. I think he was probably about 11 months since he had the surgery. So guys are coming back faster and faster.
Three separate seasons. Pelfrey won at least 10 games in the Mets rotation. And he walked him. 2-out base on balls. Now we'll see if the Tigers can make him pay.
Take a look down there in the dugout at all the charts they have. They have one of those for every single hitter. They'll simply flip the page over when the next hitter comes to the plate. What it does, it tells you where they hit ground balls. It tells you where they hit fly balls. They tell you if they were hit hard, whether they were hit soft. And they got it all down there.
Color coded too. Here's Infante. Omar fly to center field his first time up. And he takes strike 1. Omar batting .314 now for the season. He's hit 6 home runs. Missed it outside. 1-1. Well, the Tigers have been pretty fortunate in the injuries that they have had, such as Infante and Alex Avila. The fill-ins really have done a very admirable job. It's not always like that, but Santiago filled in nicely along with Perez at second base.
Quality big league roster. They've got some nice compliments down in the minor leagues. When guys do get hurt, they can simply dip down there and get a guy like Hernan Perez to come up and not hurt them defensively.
Ryan Pena, meanwhile, stepping in and giving Jim Leland some quality at bats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1 now to count. Pena would be next if Infante were to reach. Ratio on Mike Pelfrey. Runner goes, and it's fouled back out of play.
Good count to start the runner on. You knew Omar was pretty much going to get a fastball there. Dirk's stolen quite a few bags this year, 7 to be exact.
Andy 7 out of 8. He was on the move on 2-1. Driven to center field. Thomas is right there to make the basket catch. Hitting over, not before the Tigers pick up a run. Prince with a long home run to right. Homer to this game, and just a reminder as you enjoy a cold run to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Rick Porcello back to the hill after a long 4th inning in which he gave up 3 runs. Pedro Florimon will lead it off. Florimon, then Dozier, and then Herman for Minnesota. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Twins. Tigers a run on 4 hits. Showing bunt and a ball missing outside, 1-0. .216 average for Pedro Florimon. He struck out in the 3rd. And he backs out of there and a ball inside, 2-0. Florimon recently snapped an 0 for 19 slump. That's why his average, or at least part of the reason why his average is in the low 200s coming in tonight. Rick's 2-0 pitch is a ball high. Don't want to walk the number 9 hitter. 3-0 the count. And a strike called. He was taken all the way. 3-1 on Florimon, the former Oriole who was put on waivers a couple of years back in 2011, claimed by Minnesota. And he did walk him. Leadoff man is on. Here's that AT&T trivia question. When was the last time the Tigers have 5 starters reach 10 or more wins in a season? And the answer is 1962, when these 5 players all had 10 wins. Jim Bunning had 19 to lead the way. Paul Foytak had 10. At the bottom of that list, here's Brian Dozier. Of course, Rick today is going for his 10th win of the season.
Something that he has done in all 4 of his prior big league seasons.
Scherzer 18 wins, Sanchez 11, Fisker 10, Verlander 12.
Pitchers 24 years or younger. Porcello heads that list. No one has won more games than Rick Porcello. Active pitchers, I should have said.
Rick keeping a close eye on Florimon, who has 8 steals this year. 3-1 Twins lead. We're in the 5th inning. Dozier offering a bunt, and he takes a strike. Dozier is 0 for 2 in this game. Strikeout, ground out. We have some activity in the Detroit bullpen. Phil Cope and Jeremy Bonderman warming up. Of course, with the day off yesterday, the Tigers bullpen good shape.
Porcello trying to keep his double play in order. He wants to make sure that Florimon doesn't steal his 9th bag of the year. He's leaning a little bit.
He is. Not going anywhere, though. There's the ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1 now the count on Brian Dozier.
It's a nice job by Pena as we take a look at the graphic here of the young pitchers 24 years or younger. And Porcello heads the list with 57 wins. Some impressive left-handers and right-handers on the list. Bumgarner, Sale, Matt Moore, and Jared Parker of the Oakland Athletics.
Now the 2-1. Dozier sends a ground ball off the glove of Miggy. Iglesias can't field it cleanly, and everybody is safe. It's an infield hit, and it'll put 2 aboard here in the 5th inning.
It would have been interesting to see had Miggy not slowed this down and deflected it towards shortstop. Would have Iglesias gotten there? And Miggy knocks it down. No, probably doesn't get there. That ball probably is in left field, but the deflection allowed Iglesias to get there, and Iglesias tried to be a little bit too quick with the exchange to second base. Therefore, he did not field it cleanly.
As a result, the Twins now have 6 hits. Here is Chris Herman.
And bunts in order here for Herman.
And he does bunt in front of the plate. And Pena throws him out. Herman with a sacrifice. That'll advance runners to 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. A chance now for Willingham to drive in a couple. Leadoff walk to the number 9 hitter here in the 5th inning. Putting Porcello in a little bit of trouble on the infield hit. Willingham, though, has had no luck to this point against Porcello. Strikeouts in the 1st and the 4th innings. And a big swing there, 0-1. Porcello trying to dig out of another jam. Willingham earlier this year had a 2-homer game that Porcello started against Detroit. And a ball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rick's pitch count now is at 83. He was cruising along in the first 3 innings and then a very long 4th. And now more trouble here in the 5th. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ground ball to third, foul just outside of the line. Make it 2-2, and here are the pitch totals now by inning. You see the 35 in the 4th. 85 total now for Rick. Willingham needs 94 hits to reach 1,000 in his major league career. Got Morneau waiting on deck, who was already homered in this game. Missed with it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Rick now has gone to 5 3-ball counts in this game. A little bit of power for Willingham and 7 RBIs, but the average at 200. Inside, backed him out of there, and Willingham gets a base on balls. That means they're loaded up. So here comes Jim Leyland. And with Morneau due up, he wants the left-hander here. That'll be Phil Koch. And it'll be a wall-side windows pitching change here in Detroit. Loaded, and Minnesota already leading in this game by a score of 3-1. So Porcello gives way to left-hander Phil Koch.
Yeah, Phil Koch, the last 6-7 times he's gone out there, he pretty much faced left-handers, and that's it. And left-handers hitting him at a 279 clip. Right-handers 273.
Fans, we invite you to Pink Out the Park on September the 13th when the Tigers play the Kansas City Royals at 7:08. Special ticket packages include a Pink Out the Park t-shirt. For tickets, visit tigers.com/pickout. September 13th. Royals back in town.
Phil Koch has inherited 21 base runners, and so far this year, 6 of those have come around to score. He's got 3 more out there he'd love to strand, which are Porcello's responsibility.
He is 9 for 12 this year with the bases loaded. Chance to bust this one open a bit for the Twins. 3-1 ball game. Driven to right center field. That ball is going to get down. Base hit. Score at least 2. Hunter will track it down in the gap. 2-run score. And Morneau against the lefty. Koch drives in 2 more to make it 5-1 Minnesota.
And Morneau has seen enough of Phil Koch to know that pretty much Koch wants to stay away from him, so he's looking out over the plate. He gets a fastball at 94, gets out in front of it, and pulls the baseball back to right center field. So he had an idea he was going to get that ball away, and he made a nice adjustment and drives in a couple runs.
8th hit of the ball game for Minnesota, and Morneau's had a huge night.
As poor as their numbers were on their current homestand as far as runners in scoring position, they've done a much better job here tonight in that category.
Well, they were 0 for 10 against the Mets yesterday. Ryan Doumit will be walked intentionally here. Those 2 runs belong to Porcello. Wilkin Ramirez waiting on deck. Still only 1 out of the inning. There's ball 3 to Doumit. 5 runs, 8 hits for Minnesota. Tigers 1 run, 4 hits. And now ball 4. So the intentional walk will put Doumit aboard. It'll bring Jim Leland out. And they will want Bonderman here to face Wilkin Ramirez. Another wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back to Comerica Park. Twins threatening to really bust this one wide open. Tigers have a new pitcher now. That would be right-hander Jeremy Bonderman.
And Jeremy Bonderman's done nice work since coming back to the Tigers. Spent some time in Seattle this year and went down to Toledo, made just a couple of appearances. Then he found himself in the big leagues back with the club that he started his major league career with.
And we remind you, you can join us again tomorrow. The Tigers take on the Twins. Coverage begins at 6 with Tigers Live. Tigers and Twins, game 2 in this series right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Might want to start off Wilkin Ramirez here with a slider. And Bonderman pretty much fastball slider. You know Wilkin Ramirez will be looking for that first pitch fastball.
They are loaded up with Minnesota Twins. They have 2 more runs in here in the inning. Strike called.
There was that slider at 83 miles an hour out of the hand of Bonderman that Ramirez couldn't pull the trigger on. Might want to throw that same pitch and get it a little bit further outside.
Infield single, strikeout for Ramirez. Threw him another one, but it missed low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here is a late addition to the lineup tonight for the Twins there without Joe Mauer, who felt some dizziness during batting practice. And a line drive to third caught by Miggy. Scalded it, but Miggy stuck his glove out and made the play.
Bonderman looking at that one, telling the home plate umpire, this one's lopsided. We got to get rid of this one.
It's the second out of the inning. Now Trevor Plouffe. Another reason why they call it the hot corner. Ball will get on you in a hurry. Down at third base. Plouffe looks at a strike 0-1. Double RBI back in the fourth for Plouffe. He is now driven in 42. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Five runs on 8 hits for Minnesota. They've scored all 5 of their runs in the last 2 innings. Runner at third base. Willingham is still the property of Rick Porcello, who started the game. Phil Koch came on for 2 batters, and now Bonderman here in the 5th inning as well. Half-hearted swing there by Plouffe. 1-2. Jeremy Bonderman, 9 2/3 scoreless innings in the minor leagues this year with Toledo after he signed with Detroit, and then quickly called to the big leagues. Here's the 1-2. That slider again fouled straight back.
He's got to locate it better, though. He left that one right over the heart of the plate, and Trevor Plouffe, you know, he allowed Bonderman to get away with one.
And again the 1-2. Checked it. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Strike 3. 8 men to the plate. They scored 2 more runs. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Two more of those in the fifth inning, and most of that damage is done by their first baseman, Justin Morneau, who has done a lot of damage in his big league career against the Tigers. Changeup at the bottom of the zone for a 2-run shot. That was the fourth. Then he got a fastball up that Phil was trying to get away from him. He whistled that one in the gap to right center field to plate two more. So Morneau having a great day.
That he is. He's now 10 of 13 with the bases loaded this year. Tigers have some work to do now, down 5-1. Pelfrey goes back to the hill in the Tiger fifth inning.
Porcello has not lost a game since June 30th. And so to get a no decision here tonight, his teammates are going to have to score quite a few runs.
Ryan Pena lifts the pitch in the air to shallow left. Florimon will make the play. One gone. Ryan 0 for 2 in this one. They'll bring up Jose Iglesias. Single back in the third. Iglesias now batting .320. Jose started the season really swinging the bat for the Boston Red Sox. Prior to the trade, he hit .367 in the first half. And he takes strike one. However, in the second half, .220. So he's leveled off a bit.
95 top fastball so far tonight, velocity wise, out of the hand of Mike Pelfrey. We thank Xfinity for that radar reading.
Pelfrey gave up the home run to Prince Fielder back in the fourth. It was a solo shot. So far, that's been it for Detroit. Oh, he hit him up and in. He drilled him on the yard. Iglesias will take his base.
Two-seam fastball got away from Pelfrey. It's a good thing Iglesias has that protective device on that left elbow.
Here's the top of the order, Austin Jackson. Tigers so far tonight have been limited to just 4 hits by Pelfrey. Jackson has one of those, a single, as Iglesias draws the throw. Ball outside. Jackson takes another one outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Austin had just a couple of hits in that series against the Kansas City Royals, the 5-game series. Trying to do something here about a 1-out base runner. And a strike called right at the knees. 2-1 the count. That'll get back out of play. 2-2 on Jackson.
Austin Jackson, since putting on a Tigers uniform way back in 2010, when he scores a run, take a look at the Tigers record. 700 winning percentage. And just over 400 winning percentage when he doesn't score a run. Although he'll have to get some help from his teammates tonight, because he can't score all of them by himself. They're going to come back.
Bouncing ball left side. Plouffe has it. Fires to second. There's one. Relay. Oh, they called him out. Jackson appeared to beat that throw, but they called him out. It was close. And the inning is over. It's double play. 5-4-3. Pounder BLT using your cell phone. Text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Final results coming up post game during Tigers Live. We invite you to stay tuned for that as soon as this one is over. Meanwhile, we go to the 6th inning and Jeremy Bonderman back out there. Cleet Thomas will lead it off for the Minnesota Twins. 5-1 Minnesota in this game. And the first pitch from Bonderman is outside. Cleet Thomas 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out in this ball game. Fouls that one straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thomas, then Florimone, and then Dozier. Jeremy Bonderman took over for Phil Koch, who faced 2 batters. Porcello started the 5th and then left with the bases loaded. Way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Thomas put on waivers by the Tigers, picked up by the Minnesota Twins, and is now in the big leagues. Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball right side, and Fonte will charge it. Thomas is out, 1 gone. Time for game break now. Let's check in with Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thanks. Here it's unfortunately 5-1 Twins. They got 3 in the 4th, 2 more in the 5th inning. Florimone sends a high, deep drive into right field. Hunter going back to the track. He looks up, and Florimone has just hit one out.
He's a slender fella, but he's got 8 homers this year, and that was a no-doubter.
He's just sitting there in the bottom of that lineup, as you mentioned, a slender build, but he's got a little sock. And now it's 6-1 Minnesota.
He got that fastball, 4-seam fastball right around the belt buckle, and he took a really good swing at it, caught it just right. And Torrey Hunter and basically watched it fly over his head.
About 3 rows deep, second home run of the night for Minnesota. They now lead 6-1. Brian Dozier, the batter. It'll bounce in. 2 balls, no strikes on Dozier. 6 runs on 9 hits for the Twins tonight. A run on 4 hits for the Tigers. Dozier had an infield hit, scored a run back in the 5th. There's the ball he hit off the glove of Miguel Cabrera. That's in there, 2-1. Pulled on the ground to short. Iglesias gets in front of it. And Dozier is out at first base on a nice scoop by Prince.
I think that's the first time I've seen Iglesias take a ground ball and get to that high 3/4 arm slot and throw it across the diamond. Every other play he has made, he's basically flipped it over there, but he needed to get more on this throw.
And he got a little help from his friend there, Prince Fielder. So with 2 outs, here's Chris Herman. Ball 1 to Herman. Tigers came in having won 3 of the last 4 against these Twins. They had won 8 of 13 meetings so far. Ball missing high and away, 2-0. Herman is 6th round pick of the Minnesota Twins back in 09. He grew up in Texas, where he was a fan of the Rangers and the Astros. Pudge Rodriguez, his favorite player. And a check swing inside. 3 balls, no strikes on Chris Herman. His route to the big leagues involved a stop at community college and eventually University of Miami. That's it for a strike. 3-1. And he lost him outside. Ball 4. Second time tonight that Herman has reached a walk to go with his infield hit. And it keeps the inning going now for Josh Willingham. A walk in his last at bat. Willingham striking out in his first 2 against Porcello. There is ball 1 inside. Tigers tonight have been out hit 9-4. They trail 6-1. All 6 of the Minnesota runs in the last 3 innings. That's in there, a strike. 1-1. Scoop there by Pena. 2 balls, 1 strike. Justin Morneau waiting on deck. Another big crowd here at the ballpark tonight, but they have not had a whole lot to cheer about. The home run by Prince Fielder, a solo shot in the 4th inning, has been about it. And the 2-1. Ground ball foul outside of the bag at third. 2-2 on the veteran Josh Willingham.
He has done a whole lot of that today. He's hit balls extremely hard, but everything he's hit has been in foul territory down that third baseline. One of the reasons why he is hitting .217. Pull happy.
Big league career began in Florida before he went to Washington for a couple of years. Oakland in 2011. 3-2.
He and Mickey played together in Florida.
Willingham got to the big leagues in 04 with the Florida Marlins. There's the 3-2 with the runner going, and it's fouled back out of play. Last season, Willingham knocked in 100 runs for the first time in his career. He knocked in 110 in what supposedly was a pitcher's ballpark in a park that was hard to hit home runs in. The new Target Field, but he made it look fairly small. And again, the 3-2. He lost him, ball 4. Back-to-back walks now for Bonderman. It'll bring up Justin Morneau.
And back in the 4th inning, a 3-2 changeup at the bottom of the zone thrown by Porcello, and somehow Justin Morneau able to go down and get it, and not only go down and get it, but to hit it over that 365 sign in right center field.
He'll stand in now with 2 men on and 2 men out. And he pops one off foul. He'll head back toward the seats.
It's 5 walks issued tonight by Tigers pitching. 1 the intentional variety.
Which is somewhat surprising because only the Yankees and A's had fewer walks as a staff than the Tigers. Saw Morneau's numbers there against Detroit, awfully impressive. So by and large, the Tiger pitchers, whether it's the starting staff, the bullpen, they have stayed away from the walks. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Morneau needs a triple for the cycle. He singled in the 2nd, homered in the 4th, doubled in the 5th. One and 2.
And if he gets that triple, it'll be his first of the year.
Here's the 1-2. Tipped it in the glove for strike 3, and that will end the top of the 6th. Home run by Florimon has extended the lead. It's now 6-1 Mini.
This was a game in Minnesota, and Torrey Hunter, who started his career with the Minnesota Twins. Of course, he hit his first big league homer with them and hit his 300th career home run against his former team.
Milestone for Torrey earlier this year against the team that he grew up with, the Minnesota Twins.
Torrey must have been sitting on 299 for about 2-3 weeks.
And then he did it against the Twins, almost like he planned it that
Exactly.
way.
But he said, boy, it was a huge relief when he finally did hit that homer, because his swing had gotten big. His teammates wanted to move on, so he finally got it done. And his batting average is a lot better since he did that.
We'll start things off here against Pelfrey. It's a strike called, 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th here at Comerica, 6-1. Twins have the lead here tonight, game 1 in the series. Hunter Cabrera, fielder, 2, 3, and 4 facing Pelfrey. Line to right field, that's going to get down. Base hit and more. It rolls by Herman. Torrey rounds the bag at second. He's going for 3. Here comes a throw. Safe.
Herman is not a right fielder by trade. He is a catcher, and that's a nice piece of hitting by Torrey Hunter, taking that slider and staying inside of it. Herman basically should have let Torrey have a double, but by him trying to go to it and preventing from getting a double, he gave Torrey a triple.
Finally, the crowd is charged up a little bit now as Cabrera stands in. A 3-base hit for Torrey Hunter. Cabrera sawed off right on his hands, rolls it foul.
You don't see that very often. And Cabrera gets sawed off, as a matter of fact. And he has been jammed in all 3 of his plate appearances by Mike Pelfrey.
.437 this year with runners in scoring position for Miguel. His 160 hits leads the league. Trying to knock in Hunter here. The Tigers have a little something going in the 6th inning. Now the 0-1. Fouled back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes.
Miguel very upset after swinging that first pitch, which was a foot off the plate inside. He was all over this fastball. Fouled it straight back.
Pelfrey throwing from the windup with a man at third base. Ball high, 1-2. Pelfrey has had only 1, 1-2-3 inning if you don't count the double play. Faced only 3 batters in the 5th, but got a 1-2-3 first. Grounded foul. The numbers on Pelfrey by inning 23 pitch 4th has been his high water mark, but everything else is really good shape. Tigers trying to rattle him a bit here in the 6th inning. Triple by Hunter to start things off. Ground ball, third base side. Hunter will hold. And Bluth throws him out. And Miggy tonight is 0 for 3. 1 away. Hey, this Thursday is a special edition Kids Day at Comerica Park. Tigers play the Twins at 1:08. All kids 14 and under receive a free Prince Fielder poster and are invited to run the bases after the game. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Always a special day for the kids on Sundays here at the ballpark. Speaking of Prince, here he is. He drilled a solo shot back in the 4th. And a ball outside, 1-0. The home run by Fielder was his 20th of the season, his 86th RBI.
8 consecutive seasons the Prince has hit 20 or more homers.
Missed it high. Run the count is 2 balls, no strikes.
Pelfrey thought that was a strike. A little upset with Fielding Colbreth, who is the home plate umpire.
He's muttering right now. Bouncing ball to short. Hunter will come home and score on the play. Ramon throws him out. Prince is gone, but he'll get an RBI. His second of the night. Torrey comes around to score to make it 6-2. Now the base is empty for Victor. So now Prince with 87 driven in. Cabrera has a 5 RBI lead over Chris Davis. Four-run game now, 6-2. And here is Martinez. Victor sends a ground ball deep in the hole. Florimon has time. Guns to first, and it's scooped at first base by Morneau. Inning over. Tigers settle for a run, and we go to the 7th. A 2-run shot that came in the 4th inning, his 15th of the year. Fielder has gone deep for Detroit. Rick Porcello, well, he was looking pretty good early on, Rod, but then things started to fall apart a bit. I
don't know what Porcello changed midstream for, but he was pretty good through the first couple of innings, and then he started going to some breaking balls, and he started having some heavy pitch counts, and he forced himself back into fastball counts, and that's when they scored quite a few runs against him in the 4th inning.
Well, they got 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and Minnesota has a 6-2 edge as we go to the 7th. Ryan Doumit will start things off. It'll be Doumit, Ramirez, and Plouffe facing Jeremy Bonderman, who came on in the 5th inning. Ball missing low to Doumit. Walked intentionally back in the 5th inning. He is 1 for 2 otherwise. And a ball missing outside. 2-0 the count. 6 runs, 9 hits for Minnesota. 2 runs, 5 hits for Detroit. First of 3 between these two squads. Bouncing ball slowly right side. Infante throws him out, 1 away. Still plenty of time for this Tigers offense. They've chipped away a bit. They got a run back in the 6th inning, down by 4, but it's up to Bonderman now to keep it right here. Wilkin Ramirez will stand in.
Wilkin Ramirez, his last time up, he hit a rocket right at Miguel Cabrera with the bases loaded and 1 out.
What were your impressions of Ramirez when he finally got to the big leagues with Detroit? Because we had heard so much about him as a minor league prospect.
He had 5 tools. And he just didn't get a chance to play every day when he was with the Tigers. Tigers team's always very, very good. But he displayed all 5 of those tools when he was in the minor leagues. Power, average, speed, defense, good arm.
1 ball, 1 strike.
He's using a bat that has number 24 on it. I assume Miguel Cabrera must have given it to him today during batting practice. And that last time up, he hit a ball just like Miguel Cabrera. We were talking about that a few days ago. The big guys like Miggy, and Prince, Morneau, Bauer, those guys always get premium wood. And therefore, the opposing teams always exchanging bats and whatnot.
2-1 the count on Wilkin Ramirez. Trevor Plouffe next. Here's the 2-1. Skied into center field, mile high. Jackson cruising over. He'll make the play, and there are 2 gone. And now Trevor Plouffe. There is some activity in the Detroit bullpen. That would be Al Albuquerque. Tigers tonight have gone with Porcello, Koch, and Bonnerman. Plouffe 1 for 3, doubled to not get a run back in the 4th. One of the 9 hits that Minnesota has in this game. Rolled foul, 0-1. Average at 235 right now. The 0-1 fouled straight back, 0-2. Trevor this year has hit 12 home runs. '24 last year for Plouffe in the home run column. And now the 0-2. Ball high as Plouffe would not chase. Tomorrow in the middle game of the series, Anibal Sanchez, and then on Thursday in the day game, Verlander. Two and 2 on Plouffe, 2 out, nobody on in the 7th. Lee Thomas on deck. Bonderman filling up some time here in the middle innings. He has now thrown 44 in this game. And the 2-2 back out of play. And this, I guess, as you look at his ratio, was the role that the Tigers felt he would probably fill come into middle innings of a game in which the team has fallen behind. Try and keep it where it is. Bonderman did give up a run in the 6th and the home run to Pedro Florimon. And it's low, 3-2.
As good as the Bonderman slider is, he can come right back with that slider on this 3-2 pitch to Trevor Plouffe, and more than likely Plouffe will not be able to hold up on the pitch. Here it comes.
Whoop. Drilled to left field and caught. Yes, caught by Andy Dirks.
That was a frozen rope.
Yeah, it was. Hang some laundry on that. But it's an out. 1, 2, 3, 7. Nice play by Andy Dirks just before it hit the grass. Andy Dirks just made.
Very nice play. That ball was a frozen road pit off the bat of Trevor Plouffe, and Andy Dirks picked it right off of the carpet.
And Dirks will start things off here as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Tigers down by 4 runs. And a ball outside.
Here's that play.
Looked like he didn't have a chance initially. Ball was hit so hard and sinking, but he came in to make the play. And Morneau will handle that hot shot grounder. 1 gone. Bring up Infante. Omar is 0 for 2. He's put the ball in the air twice to center field. Meanwhile, Pelfrey in this game, Rod, has given up a fielder homer and a fielder ground ball to score a run, but the Tigers just not been able to crack it.
Give him some credit. He has seen the Tigers quite a bit this year, and his number is not very good against Detroit. But today, apparently Pelfrey's made some adjustments, which has allowed him to slow down the best offense in the American League and maybe the best offense in baseball.
An ERA against Detroit coming into this series of almost 5.5. But today 2 runs on 5 hits.
80% of the 83 pitches that Pelfrey has thrown tonight have been fastballs. 80%.
1 ball, 1 strike. They gave up the home run to Fielder in the 4th, a solo shot, but by and large the Tigers have got a few base runners along the way. They just have not been able to cash in. They've hit into a double play tonight. 2 of them actually. It's a ball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Infante.
That homer that Prince Fielder hit off of him back in the 4th inning got a hanging breaking ball from Pelfrey.
Prince's 20th of the year. Here's the 2-1. Infante not a fan of that call. 2-2.
7th inning, Pelfrey still throwing 94. He started out the 1st inning throwing 94, and he's been able to maintain that velocity throughout.
Pitch count, decent shape, 86. Here's the 2-2. Broke his bat, little pop up back short. Florimon, 2 gone. It's 5 in a row now retired by the right-hander. There is some action in the Minnesota bullpen. That would be Josh Reddick. Caleb Thielbar was warming earlier in the game. Now Reddick here in the 7th. Ron Gardenhire playing with a short bench tonight. He has only 1 bench player because of Mauer and Arcia not being available. We assume they're not available. Mauer felt dizzy during batting practice after taking quite a few foul tips to the mask, and so he is not playing tonight.
If you're going to err on any side, it's going to be on the side of caution with their superstar catcher Joe Mauer.
Here's the 1-0 to Pena, and that is a strike. Two out, nobody on in the 7th. Pena pop-up strikeout. Here's the 1-1. Pena with a sour look on his face on that call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not a whole lot you could say if you're a catcher. Here's the 1-2. Next half inning, you've got to go down and hope to get the same call.
Yes, you do. When you do have a protest or a disagreement with the home plate umpire, you have to do it with professionalism, just like Pena did a couple of pitches ago.
Here's the 1-2 coming home. Little chopper slowly towards short. Florimon charging, barehanding, throws. It is not in time. Midfield hit. Pena legs one out.
And Bryant Pena not going to get many infield singles, but when he made contact with the baseball, he was already one step down that first baseline. Florimon came in, do or die play, barehanded it, flipped it over to first base, but not before. And double Nichols, number 55, crossing the bag.
Double Nichols.
It's football season.
Yeah, it is. 2-out base runner. Here is Iglesias, number 9 hitter. On base twice in this game. Single hit by a pitch.
Strangely enough, that is the 7th infield single this year for Pena.
Really?
7.
Well, maybe he's faster than we think. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strikeout, Iglesias. .320 batting average for Jose. He's still got a long way to go before he gets his Iglesias in infield hits.
He's got about 30.
There's a ball low and away, 2-1. Jose this year, 26 multi-hit games, more than any other rookie in the American League. .317 average coming in. It's at .320 right now, which leads all rookies. A little pop up, back up the middle into center field, base hit. Iglesias is on for the 3rd time in this game, and now the Tigers bring the top of the order up.
When Iglesias came to the big leagues last year, they didn't think that he would hit .230, .240 in the big leagues. But as you mentioned, that batting average at .320 before that last base hit up the middle. If he was to go on to hit .300 in his first year in the big league, full year, that would be awfully special.
So we'll get another pitching change here. That'll be it for Pelfrey, and we'll be back.
% of the pitches that Pelfrey threw today were really good fastball. He was able to crowd some really good Tigers hitters. He got in on Miggy a couple times in this contest, and when he wasn't crowding them with the good fastballs, he was getting some ground balls for double plays. Didn't have many strikeouts, but really didn't need many strikeouts in this game. And I think the Mike Pelfrey we saw tonight was the one that they thought that they were signing in the offseason when they gave him a free agent contract.
Well, he gave them some good innings tonight, but he'll turn things over now to the bullpen. He leaves with a 6-2 lead. We'll see if the Tigers can get to the pen. And Josh Reddick now will take over for Minnesota.
He's got a firm arm side fastball with a little run to it. It'll get up to 93 miles an hour. He's got a curveball. He's got a slider. Also a changeup. Doesn't throw the changeup very often. Throws his slider more than he throws his curveball.
Here is Austin Jackson with 2 on and 2 out. Ball 1 smothered by Domet.
And there you go with that slider. First pitch out of the hand of Josh Reddick.
Rally started here with a 2-out infield single by Pena. Iglesias then followed with a base hit.
His uncle manages the Milwaukee Brewers, and his dad also played some big league baseball.
Father Gary, Uncle Ron Renicky.
Dad Gary played on those good Baltimore Oriole teams with Eddie Murray, Cal Ripken, managed by Earl Weaver.
Hence, Josh was born in Baltimore. 31 years of age. Behind in the count, 2-0. Jackson shoots one foul back out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Renicky had a good year last year pitching in Colorado. I mean, there's not a lot of relievers that have good numbers there. He walked quite a few, but his overall numbers weren't bad at all.
It's odd because he walked 43 in 88 innings. He had his ERA was just a touch over 3.
Yeah.
He skirted some problems there. Here's the 2-1. Back up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. Pena coming around third, and he will score. Just ahead of the throw. It's an RBI signal from Austin Jackson.
Tigers one more batter away from getting Miggy back to the dish with some runners in the scoring position, and you know Miggy is awfully upset. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Jackson got himself in a favorable fastball count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Whistled right back up the gut for a knock and an RBI. A 2-out RBI. Tigers have done a lot of that this year.
They were 0 for 4 with men in scoring position before that at bat. And now Detroit back to within 3. Here is Torrey Hunter. Three straight hits with 2 outs. Swing and a miss by Torrey.
Kind of surprised Torrey didn't attempt to bunt down third base with Plouffe giving him all that room. He has done it quite a bit this year. His goal is to get Miggy to the plate in this inning, and because of that, he would bunt right back down in that area where he's got a lot of room. Probably will not do it now with 1 strike.
That run is charged to Pelfrey, the starter. Here's the 0-1. High pop-up. Foul ground. First base side. Morneau makes the play to end the inning. Tough play. Tigers get 1 back. We go to the 8th.
It was Morneau in the 4th that played long ball, and then Prince Fielder hit one for the Tigers in the next half inning. And then you had Pedro Florimo, their number 9 hitter, who had 7 coming into this at-bat, hits number 8 against Jeremy Bonderman.
Tigers able to chip away a little bit, and they are now down by 3. Al Albuquerque is the new Detroit pitcher.
Albuquerque comes in with a 2-3 record, logging 35 innings. The ERA is rather high. It is over 5 for a guy that has the kind of stuff that Albuquerque has. Mid-90s fastball and a really good slider.
So Albuquerque goes to work now against the bottom of the lineup for Minnesota. They lead by 3. Twins have 9 hits. Tigers have 8. It'll be Clete Thomas to start things off. Thomas, Florimon, and then Dozier. Bonderman came on in the 5th, got the final 2 outs, and then pitched 2 more innings. Thomas looks at ball 1 high. Clete in the ball game is 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of grounders and a strikeout. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball right side, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still looking for more consistency out of Albuquerque. Albuquerque deals a strike, and the count is 1-2.
It's been awfully difficult, too, for Albuquerque to get consistent reps late in games because the Tigers, well, let's face it, they haven't been losing in many games late. Therefore, Albuquerque's already out of the equation.
Swing and a miss. Clete is out on strikes.
It is usually Rondon and Bears and Smiley getting the ball to Joaquin Benoit.
And the Tigers have so many options now late in games.
Yeah, but this is what he brings to the table, that slider that left-handers can't see and don't get good swings at it, and right-handers have very little chance at hitting it.
The lasting impression of Albuquerque back in 2011, the great year that he had when he was called up from Toledo. 67 strikeouts in 43 innings. He appeared in 41 games that year.
Dominated right-handers and left-handers with that slider.
Grounded foul. Pedro Florimon, the batter. Strike called. Jared Burton warming up. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Florimon. Homer walk, 2 runs scored for the Twins shortstop. Swing and a miss. You can add a strikeout to that total.
He's got that real good slide piece tonight.
So Al coming out of the pen, fans a pair.
That slider, it stays on the fastball plane until about the last 5-6 feet, and then as a hitter, once you start to swing, that's when the slide kind of disappears on you.
Here's Brian Dozier. Single and 4 at bats for Dozier, and an infield hit, scored a run in the 5th. In for a strike.
Here's that slider. You get a real good look at it in slow motion. Coming out of the hand of Albuquerque, coming straight down. We had a shot of him throwing his slider when we had a chance to play with that Phantom Cam, that toy they gave us in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And it was spectacular.
Phantom Cam really slows it down, showing you the grip of the baseball, the arm angle. Driven to right field. Hunter backing up, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Al. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cabrera, fielder, to start things off. coming up. Miguel Cabrera will lead things off, and since the beginning of August, awfully good.
Yeah, Mike Pelfrey able to do something against Miguel that very few in the American League have been able to do in the last couple of weeks. 371 batting average, 8 home runs, and 21 driven in. He has been punishing the baseball in the month of August.
So it'll be Cabrera, Fielder, Martinez, 3, 4, 5. Tigers trying to make something happen here in the 8th, and they'll try and get it done against Jared Burton.
Big arm for Burton. Fastball gets all the way up to 95 miles an hour. He also has a slider and a changeup, and he really likes his changeup.
Well, it's a big inning for the Tigers here. They're down by 3. They've got Cabrera leading it off. Maybe tonight is 0 for 3. And Burton ready to go to work. He misses high with a fastball, 1-0.
They have given Miguel a lot of fastballs today. And Pelfrey moved it in, moved it out, crowded Miguel a couple times with fastballs inside. We very seldom see Miguel get crowded with fastballs where he doesn't really barrel them up.
Driven to right field. That's a base hit. And Cabrera is aboard. The Tigers get a single to start the 8th. Bring up Prince Fielder. He is responsible for 2 of the 3 Tigers runs tonight. Four for 12 meanwhile against Burton with a home run. That's 333. Prince is homered in this game. That came against Pelfrey in the 4th. And he looks at ball 1. 20 homers, 87 driven in now for Prince.
No shift to be played against Prince Fielder here. You don't see many defenses play him straight up, even though the double play is in order. And as hard as he hits the ball, he'll hit it right past Dozier, that second baseman.
If he can get something he likes, it's 2-0.
Really, the defenders don't have to play this shallow with the combination of Miguel and Prince. Right? They're giving up something. Playing too shallow, in my opinion.
Here's the 2-0. High fly ball, left center field. Thomas on the move. 1 out.
Nice job there by Burton, making sure that Prince Fielder had to use the big part of the ballpark.
We'll bring up Victor Martinez. Single pop-up ground out for Victor tonight. In the Detroit bullpen, you've got Drew Smiley and Bruce Rondon. One on, one out. We're in the 8th. 6-3 Minnesota. And a shot to center field, a base hit. Victor wasting little time. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Second hit of the night for Martinez.
That pretty swing by Victor Martinez slowed down Exmo.
That is the 10th Detroit hit tonight. So here is Dirks. And it gets away. Doman runs it down, but the runners will move up, and now a base hit gets a couple of runs maybe.
That's going to go as a pass ball.
pass ball. Oh boy, he just missed it.
Did everything but catch it.
Meanwhile, 1-0 on Dirks. Flared foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers at one point trailed 6-1, then 6-2, then 6-3, and now they can draw even closer. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Burton, a former National Leaguer, pitched in Cincinnati from 07 through 2011. Came over to Minnesota last year, had real good numbers out of the bullpen, an ERA a little bit over 2.
He just threw Andy Dirks a changeup at 89 miles an hour.
See what he has here on 1-2.
Well, he loves that changeup.
Down the left field line, that'll go foul.
Fastball will go anywhere from 92 to 94, and his changeup 87 to 89.
Casey Fiend, the right-hander and former Tiger. Caleb Thielbar, the left-hander, and not a former Tiger. One and two. Bouncing ball right side. It's a foul ball. Dirks continues to battle here with 2 strikes in the count. Omar Infante waiting on deck. Tigers have out-hit Minnesota tonight 10-9, but they're down by 3.
If Andy Dirks hit something on the ground sharply at one of these infielders, it's not a given that they're just going to give the Tigers a run here with 1 out. Not with Miguel running from third base.
Way high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Miguel with a very aggressive secondary lead down at third base, which leads me to believe that he is coming on contact, so he's trying to get down that line as far as possible.
And the 2-2. High fly ball, shallow center field, might be trouble. And a diving play by Cleat Thomas. Wow, what a play by the former Tiger in shallow center field.
Barely caught it. Snow cone. I thought possibly when he did make contact with the ground, because of the ball was not firmly in the glove, that it was going to pop out, but it didn't. And that's a very difficult play for a base runner. Miguel had to go halfway, then he finally got back, and then once he got back, he was not able to score.
How did he hold on to that?
I have no idea.
I mean, it is literally in the tip of the glove, and then he bangs it against the ground. Dirks almost had himself a bloop single. So now with 2 outs, he'll take a hit from Infante. Omar is 0 for 3. Swing and a miss. Leadoff single by Cabrera. Base hit by Martinez with 1 out. Pass ball moved him up. Then a diving play in center by Cleat Thomas. Line drive, foul, just foul. Ooh, it was close, but right there with Brian O'Nora to make the call.
Another one of those hard changeups at 89, and Omar was looking for a fastball, but because the velocity of the changeup is so hard, there's not that much differential. Omar almost snuck one down the third base line.
Omar the tying run at the plate. 0-2 the count. 3-run game here in the 8th. Fouled back out of play.
Ryan Domick going to go out and have a conversation with Burton. You've got to get that fastball up a little higher. 0-2, that's way too close. As soon as Burton threw this fastball to Omar Infante and he fouled it straight back, and Ryan Domick jumped out of that catcher's position and went out to the mound to make sure he did not make a mistake. 0-2.
That was screaming hit me, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right at the belt. 0-2 the count stays. Burton stepping off. Burton started the inning. Renicky got the final 2 outs of the 7th. 0-2 on Omar Infante. Fouled straight back. Battle continues here in the 8th. Tigers trying to draw closer. Infante hits one out and we're tied. Rick Porcello started for the Tigers. Mike Pelfrey for the Twins. They've both departed. And again the 0-2. Ball high, 1-2.
Burton's best pitch might be the changeup. I don't know if he'll go to it or not, if he wants to make a mistake with it, but that is his best pitch. He gets a lot of outs with his changeup.
Now 2-2.
Nice job there by Omar Infante laying off of the out pitch of Burton. 88-mile-per-hour change.
He's worked himself back to an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jim Leland pouring over the numbers. Pena due next. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and Burton pitches out of a jam here in the 8th. He got some help from his buddies, though, especially Cleve Thomas in center. Great diving catch. With Tigers still have 3 outs to make something happen. And Bruce Rondon will be the new pitcher now for the Detroit Tigers.
4th pitcher we've seen this evening from the Tigers. Porcello started the game, Phil Koch, and then Jeremy Bonderman, and now the hard-throwing Bruce Rondon.
So Rondon will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Minnesota Twins, down by 3. 6-3 mini as Rondon goes to work here in the 9th inning. And a ball high and away. Fastball at 98, missing. Herman, trying to get something started, has a single, a walk, and a sacrifice in this game. Catcher / outfielder for the Twins.
You don't see many catcher / outfielders.
Oh. There's a strike called. I guess Brandon Inge could have qualified. He played some outfield.
The only one I could think of, too.
1 ball, 1 strike. Rondon replacing Albuquerque, who had a 1-2-3-8. Swing and a miss. Threw that one right by him. 1-2. Rondon has become a key figure in the back end of the Tigers bullpen after many thought he would be the closer this year. Couldn't quite nail that job down in spring training.
He probably is their closer of the future, though.
There's the 1-2. Foul back.
Joaquin Benoit is a free agent after this season is over. There has been no word whether they will bring Joaquin back, and if they did, will they bring him back as a setup guy or a closer? He's done very well in that closer's job this year.
Either way, Rondon gaining valuable experience here late in games down the stretch. Here's the 1-2. Way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Josh Willingham. Back out of play. Right now it's a 3-run game. Their closer Perkins is tuning up in the bullpen. He's the left-hander. Strike 3, down he goes. He slams the bat to the ground.
Today's Whiff of the Game is brought to you by Head and Shoulders, and I had the Tigers using 4 pitchers today, but I forgot all about Al Albuquerque, and he was very impressive in the 1 inning that he pitched. He had 2 strikeouts in the hitless frame.
Strikeout, flyout for Albuquerque tonight. So here's Rondon facing Josh Willingham. A couple of walks for Willingham tonight. And he looks at the ball low.
Power against power here. Willingham, good fastball hitter, always has been. Dangerous fastball hitter. This is not your average fastball, though. This one gets up to 100 miles an hour.
Here's the 1-0.
Oh, that's not right. Not fair. Guy throw 100 miles an hour. He drops a slider on you like that. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it's that pitch that excites me about Rondon, maybe more so than the 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, that fastball gets hit when they know it's coming.
Yeah, if he can locate that pitch, he'll be just fine. Here's the 1-1. High, towering fly ball. Right center field. Jackson going back, and the ballpark will swallow that one up. 2 gone. Hey, by the way, MLB.com at Bat is celebrating 5 years as the #1 mobile app for live baseball, available for iPhone, Android, iPad, BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Tigers baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826. 2 up, 2 down. Here is Justin Morneau. Big night for Morneau. 3 hits, 4 RBIs. 0-1. 100-mile-an-hour fastball. 72 driven in now for Morneau. Back up the middle on the ground into center field.
Nice night for Morneau here tonight. 4 hits.
So his average climbs on a good night this evening. That'll keep the inning going now for Ryan Doumit. Each team now with an even 10 hits. One for 3 for Doumit. Single way back in the second. Ball 1. Meanwhile for Morneau, that is his first 4-hit game this year. His 2-run homer early set the pace for the Twins. That gave him a 2-0 lead. Checked it, ball low. Oh, he went around to take it back. Brian O'Nora said he went. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was close.
Very much so.
Pulled down the right field line. He got out in front of it, though.
Looking for that 100-mile-per-hour fastball, and Rondon threw Doumit a changeup.
As a result, now Rondon is ahead of the count, 1-2. Tigers have not led in this game. They've trailed all night long, at one point down 6-1. Swing and a miss. Doumit is out. Half inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and it's 6-3 Minnesota.
And remember, our coverage continues from the Coliseum studios. Trevor Thompson and Craig Monroe are in there. They're going to show you all the highlights and, of course, have analysis. I'll be here down at Comerica Park going into the Tigers clubhouse to talk with the players and Jim Leland. Guys, I'll put it back up to you.
All right, Shannon, thanks. You got a couple of kids behind you that are making some goofy faces, by the way. As we go now to the bottom of the ninth inning, Glenn Perkins will come on for the Minnesota Twins.
He's got 28 saves this year. He's only blown 3. The ERA sits at 2.40. The whip is under 1. He's only walked 10 batters this year, and he has punched out 60. 6-to-1 strikeouts to walks ratio.
Well, he walked only 16 in 70 innings last year. And now Perkins will face the number 8 hitter, Brian Pena, then Jose Iglesias and Austin Jackson. 3 for 8 for Pena against Perkins. Trying to get it started here in the ninth, out by 3, and he looks at a strike, 0-1.
Minnesota Twins got a lot of calls on Perkins at the trade deadline this year, but the asking price was a little bit too high, but why not? Left-hander that throws 95 to 97 with those kind of numbers.
There's a ball down low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I guess it had to be one of those deals where they kind of just blew the socks off of the general manager, Terry Ryan, before he gave up on him.
Yeah, and it seems like at the trading deadline every year, the teams that have the really good pitching are really asking for a lot, and they should, because it's at a premium. There's a ground ball toward third. That's going to be a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Double Nichols was making a bid for a second infield single of the evening. This one took a little bit of a tricky hop. Looked like it was going to stay fair there for a moment.
If you're not careful, that double Nichols is going to stick. 1-2. Perkins had one time in his career, early in his career with Minnesota, was a starter. Won 12 games as a starter back in 2008. Here's the 1-2. Chop foul off his foot, and Pena will do the I fouled it off my foot dance.
Not many left-handed closers in baseball. Aroldis Chapman of the Cincinnati Reds, hard-throwing Cuban pitcher. Fastball gets all the way up to 100 miles an hour. Billy Wagner was a real good closer. What was the closer's name with Mets?
Franco?
Franco, good left-handed closer. Not many, though. Not many left-handed closers around baseball, nor has there been many.
Drilled into center field. Another hit for Pena.
Real short, quick swing there by Pena. He's hobbling down to first.
He is still hurt. Ken Brand's going to come out, I think.
Yeah, usually if a guy hits a ball off his foot, once they decide to get back in the batter's box, they're okay. But once he made contact with this ball, he just couldn't run at all down that line. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
It didn't seem to bother him swinging the bat, but once he started hoofing it down the line, they're going to take him out of the game. Ryan Holiday is going to come on a pinch run. So Pena will depart. Tigers are already down 1 catcher, Alex Avila. Now Pena departs the scene.
If you're Ron Gardenhire about right now, the one thing that's on your mind is we cannot allow Miguel Cabrera to come to the plate here in the 9th inning.
Absolutely right about that. Iglesias, then Jackson. We need a couple more base runners for the Tigers to make that possibility happening here. And a ball low. Actually, one more base runner would get the job done. Holiday, the pinch runner at first. Here's the 1-0. Strike called on Iglesias. Thought it was high. Field and Culbreth disagreed. Upper reaches of the strike zone. Bouncing ball back up the middle. This might be 2. There's 1. Quick relay. Safe. tough play for Dozier. He almost pulled it off.
That could be huge for the Tigers. The fact that that double play was not turned. Just about every other member of the Tigers from an offensive standpoint, this is a double play, but not with Iglesias. And you just wonder, had he gotten the ball to Florimon, would it have been better? But probably not. He's way too close to the bag to flip it, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's Iglesias running down the line.
One on, one out. Here's the top of the order now, Jackson. Strike called on Austin Jackson. A little bit high, 1 ball, 1 strike. 11 Detroit hits in this game, 1 better than the Twins. Jackson singled in a run back in the 7th and made it a 3-run game, and that's where we stand right now. Off the end of the bat, Morneau goes to second. They get 1 there, and that's it. 2 gone. Well, Torrey knows what his job is here. Extend this game 1 more batter. Hunter with a triple in this game and a run scored.
Well, if you're Torrey, really no need to take a pitch. You know they're going to come right after you.
Ball high and away, 1-0. Fastball from Perkins there.
A little pressure on Perkins as well, because out of the corner of his eye, he can see the big guy standing in that on-deck circle. Trust me.
He's hard to miss. Runner going, and there's a ball outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Jackson will take second base. Two 2-0 with Cabrera lurking. Can they get it to him? If Torrey Hunter reaches here, this place is going to go nuts.
Think it ain't. He'll take here too. 2-0. He might take the 2-1 pitch too if Perkins is able to throw a strike.
It's in there, 2-1.
And the more you think about it, even if Torrey Hunter does reach Ron Gardenhire, he might not want to pitch to Mickey. He might just put him on and go after Prince. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
Oh, you're right. You would at least have to consider it, wouldn't you?
I would.
Ball low, and now it's 3-1. If he walks in here, this will present an interesting situation for Ron Gardenhire. Three-one pitch, and he walked in ball 4. And now, what do you do if you're Gardenhire? Torrey gets on base with a walk.
This much we do know. Gardenhire's hot, and if Gardenhire saw some of these highlights over the weekend, he might just consider putting him on as Rick Anderson comes out of that dugout to talk to Glenn Perkins. Here's on Saturday, packed house, 9th inning. Aaron Crow serves up walk-off home run to Miguel Cabrera. And then on Sunday, the very first pitch he sees from Bruce Chin, the left-hander, day game after a 9th game, he hits another home run. And he dominates this sport the same way that Muhammad Ali dominated boxing back in the day. Not few could just simply dominate their sport.
Perkins against Cabrera, the numbers look like this. 300 for Miggy with a homer.
And in fact, he looks like a young Muhammad Ali.
And here comes the crowd. 37, nearly 38,000.
That visit by Ricky Anderson was simply to tell him, you know what? You better pitch carefully to him, and if you just happen to walk him, no problem. No problem whatsoever. You got the left-handed on-deck circle, even though it is Prince Fielder.
Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Miggy tweaks something there.
Awkward looking swing taken by Magellan too. But you never know with these trained assassins like Miggy. He might just be setting Perkins up for another one of those breaking balls.
He was hobbled against Mariano Rivera and hit one out. Tying run at the plate. 6-3 game in the ninth. Here's the 0-1. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They've had a lot of success going inside against Miggy tonight. He was 0 for 3 against Pelfrey. Singled against Jared Burton his last time up.
1-1 on Cabrera. In there is strike 1 and 2. And Miggy out on that front foot. Now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cabrera 1 for 4 tonight. Fought that one off the stale line. Cabrera walking gingerly around the plate. Jackson, Hunter, the runners on the bases. Perkins trying to shut this one down. Here's the 1-2. Fouled it off again, straight back. Reminiscent of that at bat against Mariano Rivera, fouling pitches off. A couple off his knee, one off his leg, actually. And then eventually he got him.
Calling it?
I don't know. He's fouling off another one.
Yeah, 50-50 chance with this guy.
It's usually less than 20%. This guy's about 50-50. 1-2 as he continues to foul pitches off.
This is what many came to see tonight.
And again the 1-2. Swing and a tip into the glove for strike 3. And Perkins strikes him out. So Perkins wins the battle tonight. So do the Twins. They will defeat the Tigers 6-3 in game 1 of this series. Justin Morneau with a big night tonight. 4 hits and a homer. And the Twins come out on top.